It's the year 1170. A small village in Belgium. A young woman named Christina has just breathed her last. Her body is cold. Her family has wept. They've laid her in a wooden coffin and carried her into the local church for her final mass. The sound of a wooden lid slamming open, gasps of a crowd. But as the priest begins the prayer, the dead woman doesn't just wake up. She bolts upright. She lets out a piercing cry and, in front of the entire congregation, she flies. She levitates straight to the rafters, clinging to the wooden beams like a bird, staring down at the terrified mourners below. This wasn't a resurrection. This was the start of a life so bizarre, history had no choice but to call her the Astonishing. When they finally got her down, Christina told a story that defied logic. She claimed that while her body was dead, her soul had traveled. She saw the pits of hell. She walked through the shifting fires of Purgatory. And there, she was given a choice. Enter heaven now, or return to earth to suffer on behalf of the souls she saw burning. She chose the pain, but Christina came back wrong. She claimed that her senses were now so sharp that the stench of human sin was physically unbearable. To her, the average person smelled so foul, she could no longer stand to be near them. To save humanity, she had to escape it. What followed was 40 years of madness. To escape the smell of people, and to pay the debt for the dead, Christina became a living miracle of self-torture. 1. She lived in the tops of trees and on the edges of castle towers for years. 2. She walked into roaring bread ovens, screaming in agony as the flames licked her skin, yet she emerged without a single burn. 3. In the dead of winter, she dove into the frozen Meuse River, praying for weeks while ice smashed against her shivering body. 4. She would crawl underwater wheels, letting the massive wooden paddles drag her deep underwater, over and over again. Her family thought she was possessed. They hunted her. They chained her. They even broke her leg to stop her from flying away. But the wounds healed instantly. She was a woman who simply refused to stay broken. So, was she a saint or a psychiatric mystery? Modern doctors look at Christina and see schizophrenia or extreme anorexia mirabilis. They see a woman using trauma to find a voice in a world that silenced women. But her neighbors in the 12th century saw something else. They saw a woman who could predict the future. They saw a woman who lived to be 74 years old, a literal lifetime longer than the average person, despite her constant brush with death. Eventually, they stopped calling her a demon and started calling her a saint. Christina died for the final time in 1224. Today, she is the patron saint of the marginalized, the misunderstood, and those struggling with mental illness. Her story asks us a haunting question. If we saw a miracle like Christina today, would we recognize it as a gift from God? Or would we just call it madness? What do you think? Was she a saint or a survivor? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories from the dark side of history, hit subscribe. Until next time.